You've seen it, but have you actually applied it? I read the book Atomic Habits by James Charles for you, so you can skip out this time. Okay, let's be real. We all have that one topic that we swear we're gonna start and then we never do. Whatever it is, going to the gym, eating healthier, becoming that person you always wanted to become, or reading that book that you bought 2 years ago and now it's just book decoration for your shelf that is desperately waiting to be read. I'm not sure about you, but I kind of got over it. This delusion of wanting to become that person and never ending becoming that person. I read this book 3 times and I took the best parts out of it and I summarized them for you to apply in your own life. And if you want to jump to the different chapters, I put bookmarks in it so you can get what you need as quickly as possible. Before reading this, I always thought, why is it so hard to have good habits? Why is it so easy to apply bad habits in your life, like doom scrolling at 2 a.m. It's no problem, but picking up consistent good habits, it's actually a task that feels almost unbearable to overcome. In this book, he really explains why it is so easy to fall into those traps and why our brain is so lazy and how we can trick our brain to actually become a more productive person. The 1% rule. Small changes, big results. Have you ever seen a person being so fit and you're thinking, oh my gosh, they're probably 8 hours a day at the gym? Well, they're not. James is clear that it's not about a great change and a sudden 360 that you have to do, but it's small changes that compound over time. And that is achieved by improving 1% at a time. Instead of looking at end results, you should focus on small changes that you can do every day. Instead of saying, obviously, I'm going to run a marathon, you can say, okay, I'm going to run 1 mile. The next, I'm going to run 2 miles. And just focusing on the small steps actually will get you to take action and will actually lead to results, because you're not just focusing on the big picture, but you focusing on actual systems that will help you get there. He calls it the cue, craving, response, and reward. So you lay in bed and you're about to fall asleep, ding, your phone lights up, and that's the cue. You feel the craving. What if there's a funny meme? You check your phone, that's the response, and boom, TikTok has you hostage for the next few hours. The reward? Dopamine. Your brain is happy, but your future is crying. But the good thing is we can use this loop to our advantage. How do we make good things easier and hard things harder? What you need to do is trick yourself and make good habits easier and more fun. For example, you want to make a habit of drinking more water and not being dehydrated all the time. Make it a priority, have access to water around you. For example, at night next to your bed, on your desk, wherever you are, make it more accessible for you to actually get encouraged to drink water. If you're sitting here and you have to get up, make a water, come back, this is a lot more effort. But if you just have a water standing right on your desk, you're more likely to actually take a sip. If you want to be less on your phone, try not to have your phone on you constantly. Try to leave it at places where it makes it harder to get. For example, at night, don't take your phone within your bedroom, because if you have to get up at night to get your phone, do all this hustle, it's probably going to prevent you from actually going on your phone, because you're like, oh, I'm actually too lazy to go, and it's actually preventing you from having a bad habit. One thing I love most about this is habit stacking, and I have some really weird ones which you don't have to do. Obviously, you can think about habits that you feel like good combination, but what I started doing is when I brush my teeth, I also vacuum. I know it's really weird, but it's just 2 things I don't enjoy doing, and so I do them at the same time. Another weird one I started doing, when I do my laundry, I stretch. I know it's super weird. I just do the laundry on the floor and I stretch while I fold my laundry, because that is 2 things I forget constantly to do, is to stretch my body. I'm not realizing I'm doing laundry because I'm also in pain from stretching. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just 2 things I combined. And so you can start stacking things together to make it more enjoyable for you, but also get things out of the way that you don't like doing at all. And at least it shrinks the time you are spending on those things that you have to do. Another bad thing I stopped doing is snacking. I simply just don't even buy them in the first place, so I don't have them. But if you do have them, try to make it harder for you to reach them. Don't have them spread all over your house, because you're gonna just by habit pick up snacks, candies all the time because they're just accessible to you. If you actually put them really, really high up on a shelf and it takes a little bit of a dilemma to actually get there, you're more likely not to get them, because let's be real, we're all a little bit lazy. One thing that seemed very cheesy to me in the beginning, but I realized is something that actually helped. We can't just pretend to be a person that has their stuff together, that is all perfect in all areas of our life. If we want to change certain habits, we have to become that person that does that. Instead of saying, I need to go for a run, say, I'm a runner. Instead of saying, I need to clean my house, say I'm a tidy person. truly becoming that person makes it so much easier because your identity is to be that person. And it's not a whole act for you to act a certain way if you are that person. Because your brain will snap back and be like, oh yeah, you're right. We are that person. We are a runner. We are a person that is active. We are a tidy person. We are an ambitious person. And so you don't have to pretend, because you are that person. And the more practice you have and the more you ingrain that in yourself, it will no longer be a question whether to do it or not. You just are a person who does that, who does make their bed, who does clean up after themselves, who's more active, who takes care of their health. All these things that you want to become, that are feeling like a delusion in your head, all these things that you wish to be, you will be. It feels weird to say, and I usually not the person who agrees with just be that person. No, but for real, the more you do it, the easier it will actually be for you to be like, oh yeah, I'm a super sporty person. And it won't feel fake because that's just the person you are. Let's sum this up very quickly. Tiny habits. No giant goals, just tiny habits will get you there. Remember, good habits easy, bad habits hard. Focus on stacking habits together, whether it's pairing good ones with bad ones, or good ones with good ones, or bad ones with bad ones. Stacking them together will improve significantly your productivity. Lastly, trick your brain into making good choices and become that person you want to be. Be that person. Say it out loud and act like that person would act. It becomes easier over time. Although I really want to make this a positive video, I also want you to be aware of the negative side effects that it can have, because compounding interest of your habits can also go in a really, really bad way. You're not going to realize for a long time that you're not eating healthy. You're going to see that in years down the line. You're not going to see it today, not tomorrow, not in a week, but in maybe 6 months, you're going to be like, oh wow, I gained a lot of weight. Oh wow, I am only eating super unhealthy. I'm not feeling well. I'm always tired. And so doing bad things, even if it's small ones that don't appear to be bad in the moment, because I'm just going to have one thing, it's going to be bad in a long period of time. It's going to appear something major because you're not getting the consequences instantly. It also is easy to fall into bad traps. It's not going to matter that you're not going to go to the gym today. It's not going to matter that you're not going to eat healthy today, but it might matter in years down the line. I started stretching because I just didn't stretch for so long. I was never stretching, and now I realize the consequences of me not stretching for a decade. I used to be super flexible, and now I'm just this stiff person. I'm like, oh my God, I'm 30. I feel like a brick. And so it's never too late to start certain things, but it's also to remember that not doing them might have a bigger impact in your life than you will see today or tomorrow. Don't want to be dramatic, but just take that to your heart.